Today, I want to talk about habits, specifically habits that I wish that I had learned earlier back in my 20s. I think the majority of my 20s were focused on partying, drinking, and going out. Just a bunch of degenerative things. Although I do not regret those days, I am much happier now in the latter part of my 20s, where I am focused more on my health, my body, my career, and financial goals. I can say that I'm a lot more confident and put together at this stage of my life than I was when I was in my early 20s. I believe that I owe a lot of this progression towards the implementation of small but very effective habits in my life. So here are 5 habits that I wish that I had learned earlier back in my 20s, and I hope that you can use and implement them in your life too. The first habit is to start eating healthier. I really didn't think that the majority of people needed nutritional advice, but let me cook. I know that everybody enjoys delicious foods, and trust me, I do too. But junk food is a silent killer that may lead to weight gain, heart disease, or decreased brain function. Junk food is full of empty nutrients. They may be tasty, but they are definitely non-filling. Extra calories without the proper nutritional value is the real danger. These foods don't make you full, so you tend to eat a lot more of it. And when you eat a lot more calories than your body needs, you tend to gain weight and accumulate fat. I remember during college, I was going to school full-time, and on top of it, I was working a part-time job, so I had no time to cook. And of course, a broke college student like me, working my part-time job, making $15 an hour, I would find any chance to go out and to eat fast food. I started gaining weight, I completely stopped taking care of myself. All in all, I felt like complete trash. When I started going back to the gym to get my body back, I quickly realized how much of a challenge it is to get back into good shape. Getting out of shape is easy, but getting back into shape is very hard. I started counting my calories and prioritizing foods that are full of healthy nutrients that are less calorie dense. Eating clean foods made me think better, sleep better, and function better on a daily basis. I wish I had this mindset earlier on, which would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of hard work to get back to where I am today. And hey guys, I'm not a perfectionist. I still eat McDonald's, I still eat Wingstop and Five Guys. I'm not perfect, but these choices are a lot more calculated and measured to make sure that cheat meals like this are not a regular part of my diet. The second habit is investing. I think that in today's society, it's a lot easier to get into investing based off of all of the information and access that we have on the internet. But as common as it sounds, you guys might be surprised at how many people do not invest or save their money at all. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans do not have any savings or retirement funds at all, which to me is pretty shocking. A lot of the stuff that I learned in college was more factual and theoretical about the system and how money works, but nobody ever talks about the actual in-depth understanding of how to save and how to invest your money.
Quick disclaimer, I'm not a qualified financial advisor. All information found in this video are based purely on my personal opinion and experiences and should not be construed as professional financial advice. You should talk to a licensed financial advisor and/or do your own research before making any investment decisions.
I think I should have started investing a lot sooner by putting money into the stock market, specifically into ETFs such as the S&P 500, which to me is like a very safe but lucrative savings account. Even Warren Buffett himself stated that the one piece of financial advice that he would give to everybody is to buy and hold the S&P 500 ETF long term. Another thing that I wish that I had done sooner was learning how to budget and using simple 50-30-20 rules in my life, where 50% of your monthly income goes towards rent, groceries, transportation, and stuff that you actually need. The 30% goes towards the wants, things like shopping, like travel, eating out at nice restaurants. And the last 20% should go towards savings and retirement. Habit number 3 is to have a skincare routine. I know this may sound crazy to a bunch of guys watching out there, but yes, it's true. You do have to take care of your skin as a guy. And to be honest, it doesn't need to be complex or hard. The skin routine can be very basic. I personally started looking after my skin only after my mom told me about it back when I was 25 years old. I had pimples, I had rashes, and I had signs of early aging, which included wrinkles, which I still have now, which sucks. But anyways, this skincare routine involves using a cleanser, a moisturizer, a sunscreen, as well as an eye cream. That's it. And let me know if you guys are interested in seeing what my skincare routine looks like. I wish I had started having a skincare routine earlier in my 20s, but now that I'm in my 30s and taking care of my skin on a regular basis, I get a lot of compliments, which is a bonus. Habit number 4 is setting clear goals. I realized as I was getting older, a lot of the goals that I set for myself long term, year over year, were not really coming to fruition. So in order to achieve your goals, I think you need to have a plan behind those goals in order to achieve it. Now, I'm not somebody that's been a goal setter in my 20s. I didn't really have any goals. I think I had very basic goals like living in a very nice place, having a very nice, pretty fast car, and having a lot of money. All of these goals were basic, but there was no plan behind any of them. And this is how I lived most of my 20s. I thought that everything would magically work out and everything would fall into place, but I quickly came to realize that's not how the world works. Now, in my 30s, I set clear and concise goals with a timeline, and I set micro goals within that big goal to make sure that I'm doing everything on time. This way, I don't have to tackle the big picture, the big goal. I can just focus on the small micro goals, which will eventually lead me to achieving the big goal. For example, creating this YouTube channel and uploading consistently on it for a full year is a big goal of mine, but I split it up into small micro goals. For example, uploading 5 videos, uploading 10 videos, 20, 25, 50, and so on. Another small goal that I have is to improve every single one of my videos by one thing every single time. In general, this is just gonna make me a better editor and help me achieve the big goal that I have of uploading on a YouTube for a full year. The last and final habit that I want to talk about is having a realistic routine. Having a structured daily routine is something that most very successful people have. This includes waking up at a specific time or allocating a specific amount of hours every single week towards a certain productive activity, and so forth. Even Aristotle said that 95% of what you do is a result of habit. And that is a surefire way to make you a more successful person. Personally, in my 20s, I had no good habits and I had zero routine. Actually, I had a bunch of bad habits that took me a very long time to realize that were super detrimental to my life. And no, having a daily routine does not mean that you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. Nobody wants to do that. Be a little bit more realistic. Instead of going out every single weekend, why don't you go out every other weekend? Instead of drinking 2 times a week, drink only 1 time a month. There's a bunch of different small, realistic habits that you can create by following a simple routine. Hey, if you guys really enjoyed this video, you're going to love this video right over here where I talk about the things that I stopped buying in my 30s in order to save a little bit more money. So please check it out right over here.